Jess from Presets and Actions by Jessica G Photography, and today I'm going to be editing this image, and I'm going to be using the Magnolia presets, Baby Butter, and Finishing Touch Actions, and I'm going to leave all the links below. So first I'm going to start with a preset. This one is pretty much a one-click for me, but just please note that presets are not always one-click and you might need to do some tweaks. So this collection includes different types of tweaks. So first you apply a preset and then you apply one of these as needed. And you can apply multiple ones. So for this one, I'm just gonna bring down the exposure just by a little bit around there. And then I'm gonna open the file in Photoshop. In Photoshop, I have my Baby Butter actions from here, and from here down is Finishing Touch actions, and I'm probably gonna be using Background Butter actions right here. So first things, I'm gonna use the serum in Olive. Now the difference between Baby Butter and the serums is that the serums are a bit stronger and they're meant for a little bit like trickier skin like this one. And the different names are depending for color, like skin tones. For example, natural doesn't alter the skin tones. Then you have ivory for like fair skin tones, olive, golden, and so on. And then skincare, these two skincare are for like maternity photos or adult skin retouching. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start. And I have my brush set to white. Just make sure your brush is set to white. And I'm gonna brush 100% opacity in these areas that need it the most. And after that, I'm gonna reduce the brush opacity. And I'm gonna go a little bit slow just so you can see where I'm brushing. But this will save you so much time editing. And sometimes with the serums, I kind of like to use a lower opacity just to keep a little bit of more texture. That's just how I prefer to do it. I'm gonna go 50% around here, the hairline, because don't want to make those hairs like blurry. So I'm gonna reduce that brush opacity there. I'm going around the eyes with a 50% brush opacity. And around the chin. And then I'm gonna go 100 in the areas that need a little bit more. So just a quick before and after, and because I do like to kind of blend the serum with the balm, then I'm gonna do maybe 85% here, and then I'm gonna use the Baby Butter balm over here. Now the texture scrub is to add texture, so I'm just brushing a little bit here and there where it needs it. And then we have the no reds, which is an additional red remover if you need to use it. And I'm kind of brushing everywhere because I kind of want to even the skin tones a bit more. 50% there. So this is where I adjust the layer opacity right over here. You can select for example, the rosy cheeks opacity. You can bring that down to maybe, kind of like to have more subtle, maybe like 5%. And there you can see before and after. And then you can also, here you can adjust the opacity if you want to use less or more. So like sometimes I'll adjust it a little bit. Might go with 95 here. Now I'm gonna run Baby Butter Balm. And I'm just gonna brush. And just like 30% around the eyes, don't want to go too strong there. So before and after. And because I am mixing the actions, then I might need to do just a little bit more here. And I'm gonna use the patch tool just kind of like, just for these little things. Really not much to do there. And I'm gonna use background butter. I'm gonna use the one click gap strong. And then right over here where it says your haze and the color is right here, the color box, I'm gonna double click. And with the eyedropper tool, I'm gonna select one of the darker tones. So you can see before and after there. And because this one has a bit of a gap, then we can brush off a little bit. I'm gonna blend it in a little bit more here. I'm gonna bring my brush opacity down just to kind of blend it in just a tiny bit. So just a quick before and after there. And with this one, I'm gonna set my brush to white, and then I'm gonna brush here in these areas. And that's on the Your Haze, and it's just to kind of blend in this a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And for the bigger flakes, patch tool. Okay, and now I'm gonna finish with the skin tone. So I'm gonna use Skin Tone You Pick from Finishing Touch. And this one I like to kind of brush everywhere and then brush off where I want the red. So it would be like the mouth and the cheeks. So I switch to black and I'm brushing off the cheeks here and the lips. And that one is at 10%. And another thing I like to do for skin tones is use that same action again. Double click and select around the cheek. And then I'm going to brush over the highlights. And I might select a different color here, maybe a little bit, maybe a bit more pink. And then I'm gonna bring that opacity down. So that's at 6% there. And now I kind of want to adjust this here, the dark spot. So I'm gonna try no purples and just brush a little bit there. Bring the opacity down. So that's 20%, so I'm gonna bring it to 16, just make sure it's blending. So that's why I like to zoom out so I can see how it's blending in. And then I'm gonna do the balm again. I don't have to do this every time, but just sometimes I have to do it. And I'm just gonna brush here. So quick before and after. And I do get a little picky with this sometimes, so I'm gonna start a new layer, Command J, start a new layer, and then I'm gonna use the patch tool to blend it just a tiny bit more. And then I'm gonna reduce that layer opacity. And there we go. So I'm just gonna do a quick before and after, and then I also like to use skin texture from the baby butter to add a little bit of texture back because we just did some skin smoothing. And I'm actually gonna use Scrumptious Lips for the lips, and I might use Sweet Sugar Glow is one of my favorites. So I'm just gonna brush this one here for the lips. And make it subtle. I'm gonna do like 10% on that one. And Sweet Sugar Glow. And I'm only brushing on baby for that one. So that's at 10%. All right, so quick before and after. And another trick I like to use is definition night and day. And this one you brush day where you want like the light or where the light's supposed to be coming from. And then the night where the shadows are. Then I like to do a Command J. I hide the original background and I merge those layers. So I do Shift Command E. And then I'm gonna do maybe 10% or maybe just a little bit less. So you can see the difference there. I might actually go like a little bit less, more subtle, 5%. And then just to give you, so you can see like what the other actions do, you can use for sitter sessions, you can use eye pop. These are also skin retouching. If you can't get baby butter right now, then you can go with finishing touch actions. And then there's also like a select for me, there's rustic feels, there's different options so you can make your editing unique. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I'm gonna leave all the links below to the editing tools I used and also to my Facebook group. Thank you so much. Bye.